Good morning, everybody. So in this video, we're going to introduce you some of the main aspects that characterized theaters in Shakespeare's time. In the 16th century, London was a growing city, and by 1570 it became one of the largest and richest cities in Europe, with more than 100,000 inhabitants. The capital's shops, markets, streets, and inns attracted everyone who was looking for fortune. Among these places were the companies of players, which used to act in inn-yards and taverns, but they were not well accepted by all Londoners. In particular, the Puritans, religious-minded people, thought that plays were sins wanted by the devil, and people who lived near the inns complained of the constant noise. For these reasons, theaters within the city's walls were banned. Despite this, more and more citizens coveted to attend the plays.
In 1570, James Burbage, the manager of the company Earl of Leicester's men, built England's first theatre. Soon London had several theatres built by speculators who rented their buildings to the companies. Companies' important figures were the sharers, who invested their money to start an enterprise. Sometimes the sharers were also the company's leading players. In 1599 the Globe Theatre was opened in Bankside, along the south bank of the Thames, an area in Southwark where Londoners went to drink, to eat, and to entertain themselves, and which had already two theatres, the Swan and the Rose.
In a short while, the Globe earned a notable reputation for the polished Shakespearean plays. A flag was hoisted from the theatre to advertise that there would be a performance that day, and people from all social classes crossed the river and poured in to watch the plays that were staged in the afternoon because of the position of the sun and the lack of artificial lighting. For this reason, the performances were called matinees.
Entering the Globe costed a penny, and those who wanted a seat paid another penny. With a further penny, spectators could have a cushion. Important people, lords, ambassadors, and nobles could sit in the gallery above the stage, if musicians and actors did not need it. Conversely, the poorest stood around the stage in the pit, the theatre yard, and they were called groundlings. During the performance, bread, fruit, and ale sellers used to trade with the booing or cheering audience.
In Shakespeare's time, women never performed on stage, and therefore female roles were played by young boys. Actors changed their costumes or attires in the tiring room, where the tiremen made last-minute adjustments. Colorful and well-designed costumes were very important and told the people about the status of a character. Very often, nobles sold the clothes they did not use anymore to the theatre, so that the players could really wear the sumptuous apparels of the court for the performances. Costumes were the company's most precious possession, and they were kept carefully in locked chests.
At that time there was no stage crew as there is today. For this reason, actors had to do everything themselves, from making costumes to setting the stage, even though the scenery was very limited because the dialogue was the central part of the play. Players could perform around 6 different plays each week, but they did not usually have much time for rehearsals. Due to this, it was popular a system called cue acting, which consisted in somebody sitting behind the curtain whispering the lines to the actors. Even though theatre in Shakespeare's time was very different from today's theatre, we can definitely affirm that Shakespeare is the father of the theatre, and his influence is still visible. Without him, theatre would not have been and would not be the same.